to the Dr. Pat Show. Talk radio to thrive by. Powerful, inspiring, and coming to you live, bringing you stories of people like you and me busting through and living life full out. Get ready to dare to wonder what your life would be like if you knew you could not fail.
Welcome, everyone. Welcome to the Dr. Pat Show. This is Talk Radio to Thrive By. And, boy, I'll tell you, it keeps getting better and better and better. I hope that you all were around to listen to the past hour. If you did not, I want to invite you to listen to the archives, which will be up on the Dr. Pat Show website. And you'll be able to listen to those later on. As a matter of fact, we're also going to be showing you some incredible video. But right now, I am so thrilled because, you know, Benny, it does keep getting better and better. Just when you think it's not going to get better, what happens?
Well, it's like wine, you know, it's aged over time, right? I mean, that's how we enjoy it, not out of a box, something that's been, you know, kind of underground in a dark cellar somewhere. That's how it should be immortalized in life.
Immortalized.
Yeah. Sorry,
What did you say?
I got my little...
Did you say immortalized?
I tried to say immortalized, but see, it came out. I have my little braces in, so it's
okay.
Sorry.
Well, you know, and that's what I love about Dr. Friedemann Schaub, who's joining us here today.
Schaub.
I got that right, didn't I?
Schaub.
I got it right. I got Friedemann right.
Yeah, you got that right. Yes.
Well, you know, we're talking about cellular wisdom, and we're talking about, you know, healing and health in a way that right now we're busting through. We're no longer alternative. That's like old news.
That's right.
I mean, it's old.
Yes, I agree.
And, you know, thanks to, you know, the work that you're doing. I mean, when we look at the healing path that we're on right now and the work that you're doing, what is it about what you do that even blows you away to this day?
Well, it always blows me away to see our unlimited potential to change and heal.
Yeah.
It is amazing. And, you know, I was listening the other day to a radio show where they talked about the effect of placebos and how they found that placebos are doing so much more than in the past we've thought. So they talked about even healing Parkinson's disease with placebos. Now you have to imagine that the body needs to know what's wrong when you have Parkinson's disease and then heal it by knowing exactly which neuroendocrine, which chemical to produce. And this is all by the power of the belief that this little sugar pill will do the trick. So your body, once you put the right belief inside, knows exactly what it needs to do. And that's what always blows my mind. It's just unlimited potential there.
Exactly. And what we're talking about is moving beyond our worst nightmare.
Absolutely.
Yeah, whatever that is in our lives.
Well, I believe that the common denominator of our worst nightmare is that we are powerless and that somebody else has the power over us. And I think that's what, you know, a lot of ways this fear and anxiety epidemic is that, you know, we're experiencing, especially in our society. And I have been specializing on working with people who are dealing with fear and anxiety because I feel it's at the root cause of so many also physical illnesses, and it really keeps you stuck. And helping people to get unstuck and releasing the fear and anxiety is one of my missions.
I mean, you know, on an average, what would you say people experience in terms of fear and anxiety in any given day?
Well, I think, you know, there are studies that say that we come about 80% of our days from a place of fear and anxiety, and only 20% from a place where we feel a choice and we feel we have some kind of joy and purpose. So imagine that 80% of your day is just in generally tainted by that fear and anxiety. That's a huge impact on your body, and it means that your body is in a constant stress response. It's in a constant sympathetic nervous system state, which is a fight and flight response. So it's very exhausting and also very damaging to our health.
Well, and you know, part of this, Friedemann, is that we have come to know and be comfortable with our fear as if it were every day of our lives. But you know, when you created a cellular wisdom, you know, you really started to look beyond the mask of limitation. And, you know, now here you are, you're taking people to Egypt, you're working with people in workshops. I mean, what is the next frontier?
Well, the next frontier will actually be the book that will come out around breaking through these emotional stuckness, and I hope it's going to be this year. And I think it's going to really help a lot of people because it contains many tools and a very step-by-step program that's easy to use, but extremely empowering and really helping you to get unstuck and release those emotional baggage from the past.
Well, people are really wanting solutions that work.
Yes.
And that's what you do. I mean, in the work that you do, in the workshops and the people that come to see you, are you ever amazed by the outcome or the results that they have after working with you?
Yes. You know, and the nice thing about this work is that I never have the feeling it's something that I have been doing. It's something that they have been doing. So, you know, seeing people breaking through insecurities and fears that they had for 50 plus years, and then within a few weeks they're able to completely change their mind. That just blows my mind. And really, when you change your inside, your outside world adjusts to that. And that's so much fun to see, too. So people, you know, leave the work and feel like, okay, now I'm ready. And all of a sudden, all these opportunities pop up in life and everything changes as well. And all of a sudden, their entire life is better. Yeah. But they started from the inside versus, you know, we have been told so often that, well, you have to have this and you have to do that. And, you know, then when the outside world is okay, then you can feel okay. Then you can feel, you know, happy or peaceful. But it really starts on the inside. So if you really want to make a change in your life, look inside and the outside will come.
Well, let's talk about fear and anxiety and stress. I mean, the question is, where did that come from? I mean, how often do you hear, and I've said it before on the show, that I remember in, you know, the younger days of my life being fearless. Then I don't know what happened. Some evil thing took over my body. And then now I'm coming, you know, back to that state of fearlessness. But where the heck does this stuff come from?
Well, you know, and that's a really good question because we have been often told that fear and anxiety or also depression is a chemical imbalance.
Yes.
There's just something wrong in your brain, and so that pill is going to fix it and everything's going to be okay. But the problem is that's not the case. Fear and anxiety is something really deeper than that, and it's anchored in the so-called subconscious mind. So in some ways, we are not consciously deciding, well, today I'm going to be a little fearful or I'm going to worry a bit. It's something that happens on the subconscious, deeper level. But what's important for us to understand is we are still creating it. And whatever we create, we can also uncreate, we can undo, and we can be in charge of. So learning how to work with the subconscious mind in that place where the fear starts and what is the root cause of the fear is incredibly powerful, because then you can not only release it, but you can also just avoid to react automatically to the news or to your work or to your spouse in a way that in the past had triggered maybe anxiety or fear to come up.
And you know, which leads to other residual effects like anger.
Yes.
And resentment.
Absolutely.
And boy, now we've got what we call, you know, is a toxic cocktail, you know, for life. I mean, you know, if you want to be the bartender that's whipping up a drink of toxicity and limitation, that's what happens. But the work you do is help people stop it, reverse it, and turn that around to vibrant living, right?
Yes. And, you know, in emotions like fear and anxiety are the fuel. They're like the toxins. But then we have to see that just letting go, the fuel is not enough. No. You have to also let go of, let's say, the hardwiring inside of you. And the hardwiring are often those beliefs that say, well, fundamentally, I'm not a good person, or I'm not capable, or I'm not lovable, I don't deserve. Now, imagine if you say this subconsciously every day to yourself and you go out into the world with those mindsets. Well, wouldn't you feel anxious or angry and frustrated or depressed? So changing the way we look at ourselves, changing the way we believe, makes the biggest difference in the way we experience life.
Well, and you know, we're talking about showstoppers here.
Yes.
And I love the theme that we have today because it really is about moving beyond these limitations. You know, we hear a lot. I was referring to Oprah's webinar last night, which was incredible. But, you know, they were talking about these layers and conditions of where things come from. And, you know, for some people, moving beyond those conditions is a lifelong journey. But what are some of the suggestions? What can you recommend for our listeners to help them deal with anxiety now?
Well, first of all, come to the workshop. It's certainly something that I find incredibly valuable. And you're right. For some people, it is a lifelong journey to change. But I believe just because we had something for a long time, it doesn't take a long time to make a real big difference in our lives. And this workshop that's coming up on March 29th and 30th, which is called Breakthrough Fear and Anxiety, really helps you to find the tools and the access point to go through those layers that really keep you away from being yourself and to being connected to yourself and changing those programs that in the past kept you stuck and kept you in fear and anxiety. So if you really want to have a whole bunch of tools and experiences that open up your mind and in some ways maybe even blow your mind in terms of what you're able to do, that's a great start. But if you cannot attend, think about personal breakthrough session, which I do over the phone all over the country. I have a tool that I love to share. And
let's hold that thought. When we come back from break, that's what we want to share with everyone. And we've got a special giveaway right here on the Dr. Pat Show, everyone. CellularWisdom.com is the website. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
McDonald's Northwest Women's Show is where mothers, daughters, sisters, and friends come together each year at a show that's all about you, your body, your spirit, your life. New this year is the exciting Living and Eating Green Expo. Find out what you can do to make a difference. Plus over 500 exhibits and best of all, shopping. This year, it's Celebrity Central at our 20th anniversary show. Meet Matt and Susie from NBC's The Biggest Loser, Max from Dancing with the Stars. Take a class with Aiden from ABC's All My Children at the Beef It's What's for Dinner stage. Fashion on Fire, where Seattle's hottest firefighters heat up the runway. And favorite authors including Anne Rule and Dr. Pepper Schwartz. The Women's Show is March 28th through 30th at the Questfield Events Center. Open 10 till 6. Sponsored by Bartell Drugs, American Family Insurance, Waste Management, the Seattle Times, and King 5. The McDonald's Northwest Women's Show. It's such a girl thing. For show information, go to nwwomenshow.com.
Master Stephen Coe conducts miracles every day. His mission is to teach everyone how to do this for themselves. Stephen Coe is a master of the life force energy. Everyone is endowed by nature with a miraculous healing ability. Join Master Coe and experience your own life force energy at East West Bookshop, Wednesday, March 12th at 7 p.m. and at the Seattle Unity Church, Thursday, March 13th at 7 p.m. Details at yourhandscanhealyou.com.
Stop surviving. Start living. This is the year to bring your practice and your patients to the next level. Come to the workshop that can help you transform your practice and your life. See how beliefs affect our bodies and learn specific techniques for creating optimal health. Sponsored by the Institute of Healing Arts and Sciences. This workshop will help you do all of this and more. Register now for Merging Alternative and Traditional Therapies, April 11th through the 13th in Hartford, Connecticut. Call 866-303-HEAL.
Are you living the life you want? Dr. Lisa Cooney motivates, inspires, and educates listeners with practical tools to align their power with their passion, their life with their vision, and their spirit with their mission. Dr. Lisa teaches you how to attract abundance, how to manifest your dreams, and to live in truth, integrity, and love. She'll share with you powerful tools for co-creating the life you deserve, empowering your inner leader, and living your life balanced in mind, body, and spirit. These tools have been successfully used for over 10 years by participants in her Life Empowerment Action Program. Tune in to Cultivating Presence, the Psychology of Soul with Dr. Lisa Cooney, Fridays at 11 a.m. Pacific, or listen live at thedrpatshow.com.
Notice anything different? You should. There's no other station like Alternative Talk 1150 AM.
Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to the Dr. Pat Show, Talk Radio to Thrive By. We've got a super duper offer for you. And here's what we're going to do. The toll-free number is 1-800-930-2819. 1-800-930-2819. And Nick is ready, willing, and able to pick up the phones. We're going to be collecting a little bit of information. And as a result of the information we collect, one of you will receive a pair of tickets
to the upcoming workshop, Breakthrough Fear and Anxiety.
Absolutely. So this is what you do. You just dial this number, give Nick your information. You don't have to come on the air, but we will be, pulling somebody from the list in the near future. 1-800-930-2819. And so just keep calling. Nick is going to get to you. 1-800-930-2819. And he's nimbly picking up the phones as they're ringing. So let's talk about let's talk about the breakthrough process. Let's talk about this idea of healing and moving beyond fear and anxiety and how that clogs up the works.
Yeah. So I see in a lot of ways the problem with fear and anxiety as a layered problem. So we have the emotions, and the emotions are something that are not only the emotion we feel in the moment, but it's also the emotions we feel in our cellular memory, in our subconscious mind. So that means if you have stored a lot of past fear and anxiety inside, the threshold to feel fear and anxiety in the future is way lower than it needs to be. And so letting go of any kind of stored fear and anxiety from the past will automatically increase the threshold and make you feel more calm and centered, and you're not reacting automatically. And I think that's one of the biggest problems with medication, because medication really puts a lid on it, and it doesn't really address the emotional root cause and what's really going on underneath all of that. So in some ways you're not feeling the emotions, but they're still stored in your subconscious. So really addressing this, going back in time, and this is one of those things you're going to experience in individual sessions or also in the workshop, getting a clean slate, going to the subconscious and learning from the past, and then being able to let go of all stored fear and anxiety of the past and really start fresh. That's one of those layers that is very important to work with. The second layer that I find is important to work is that there is an imprint on the subconscious level. And the imprint is that part of us that feels scared. There's so often I hear this, I would say 99% of the cases I'm working with, that there is a part of them that feels almost out of control, that feels completely scared, and that feels, well, I can't do this and I don't know how. And then there's the other side, which is a grown-up. That's, the side of us that feels confident and feels ready to go. And if these two sides of us are struggling and incongruent, that is like driving a car with the handbrake pulled. So you're never really moving forward.
That is such a great visualization, Friedemann. That, driving a car with the handbrake pulled.
And that's what happens. So you're not really arriving anywhere, and you're heating up, and, you're destroying your engine. So it's certainly something that bringing this congruency inside, that all of you is in alignment and all of you wants to move forward, is a second very, very important step that you're going to experience. And the third one is, again, what I said before, these programs, these, in some ways, lies that we have been told about us, and really changing them, the lies of not being capable, of not being powerful, the lies that keep us away from really being who we are. So letting go of that, releasing that, and reprogramming your mind, that's really one of those biggest, changes that you can make.
How much does the feeling of not being good enough play into all of this?
The feeling of not being good enough and the feeling of not being lovable, I think, is at the root cause of most people's fear and anxiety. And the interesting thing is that when I talk with people about this, initially they say, well, I don't really think that I have a limiting belief. I'm fine. I just know I can never really get what I want. Yeah. And so it's not really seen as a limiting belief. It's really seen much more as a fact. And so this is something that I find very powerful to first of all, be aware of, and then also change.
Well, I want to remind everyone, we're taking your calls at 1-800-930-2819, and you don't have to come on the air, but you do want to call in so that you can receive a pair of tickets to the upcoming event. And so the number is 1-800-930-2819. Nick is picking up the phones, and he will collect your information. What can people expect on, the upcoming workshops? And also, I think you have another event here as well. On March 29th and 30th.
That is the event.
That's the event. But what can people expect? Because that's what I call an intensive.
Yes, it is an intensive event. So it starts in the morning.
I love that it is.
It starts in the morning at 10 o'clock and it goes until about 7:30 at night for both days. And you really do the work. In other words, you are immersed in change work. It's not a talk. It's not a presentation. It's something where we as a group together work on releasing fear and anxiety and really finding our true self, our true power. It is in Seattle. It's at the Marriott Residence Inn in Lake Union. I limit it to usually 35 people just because it's so big work that you don't want to dilute it with hundreds of people.
Right.
So right now it's really something that works best if I can attend to each person also personally in a way that, they can get to their breakthrough.
Right.
It's also very... I would say it's experiential because you have a physical breakthrough as well. So at the end of the day, you will feel incredibly empowered and you will have a whole set of tools that you're going to use for 40 days every day to really program this into your subconscious mind so that it's second nature. So I give people a 40-day challenge at the end. You will work together with your partner for 40 days on that, and you will see what difference it's making in your life.
Well, and part of this is not only just going to a 2-day event and everybody clapping at the end of it. I mean, this is about creating positive change in your life.
Absolutely.
So this is about not only attending the event and being wowed, but it's about learning something that you could put into use every day. That's what people want right now.
And I think, the nice thing about this event is that people still email me years after and tell me that this was the breakthrough for them, that things that they have been stuck with for decades finally was released and changed, and that they really had the momentum from the workshop taken into their lives, and their lives changed. And I want to also mention that I want to give a special offer to the Dr. Pat Show, because currently the offer that is there for everybody until March 15th is a 2-for-1 offer. And the reason why I do this is I think it's incredibly important that people bring somebody that they want to work with for the 40 days. That doesn't mean that you have to meet every day. It just means that you're accountable, that you check in, and that you do this change process afterwards with somebody you feel comfortable with. And so ideally, you bring your partner, your friend, your spouse, and work with them. A lot of actually people in the last workshops brought their kids and worked with them, which is just incredibly powerful.
That is incredible. And we want to make sure everybody knows that that's a special offer that we'll have going on until, I think, the 15th.
Yes.
And if you sign up, and folks can sign up through the website, what's the best way? Let's give them the website and also a phone number.
The best way to sign up is through the website, cellularwisdom.com, cellularwisdom in one word.com, and there is a link to the Breakthrough Fear and Anxiety page, and then you just click on the link. There is a secure sign up. If you mention that you are coming from the Dr. Pat Show, I will give you a self-hypnosis CD for free, which I think you will definitely want to have as an addition to the workshop. It's incredibly powerful.
It's all about getting out the gate in 2008. And as a matter of fact, I want to make sure that you all know we're going to continue to take calls for at least the next 15 minutes for those of you that want to be in the raffle so that you can win a pair of tickets to this event. 1-800-930-2819. Nick is picking up the phones. 1-800-930-2819. Thank you so much for joining the show today. I mean, we can't offer enough to our listeners to help them create the positive changes in their lives. There's always something different for different people. It's not a one-size-fits-all. And so I want to thank you for your generosity. What is your personal message? What do you want to leave our listeners with today?
Well, just be I want to leave them actually with 4 points.
All right. I love 4 points.
Well, I love to see the body as an analogy to our emotions. And so if you look at your body as something that you're using, for example, in yoga to really strengthen, think about your emotional body in a similar way. So the 4 points that I want you to be aware of is become aware of your emotions. Be flexible with your emotions. Be sure that you can actually change your emotions at will, and you can learn how to do this. Choose your emotions. This is another thing that you can do. And be balanced, which means you're creating a strong foundation that allows you just to act from a calm, centered place. If you have the desire to do this, give me a call, and I'm happy to tell you how you can do this in a very effective way.
All right, so make sure you get in at the raffle. We're going to still take your information throughout the next segment, 1-800-930-2819. Nick is picking up the calls as quickly as he can. Friedemann, thank you so much. I want to mention the website, which is cellularwisdom.com. Lots of information, and hopefully next time we can talk about something you just said. And that is the ability to choose our emotions.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
It's going to be a pleasure. Actually,
great work.
Next time I will bring my wife, which is going to be very special, and we're going to talk about our transformational magical tours to Egypt.
Absolutely. And there's that information on there as well.
It's there as well. Exactly.
All right. Thank you so much. Let's take a short break. When we come back, more with the Dr. Pat Show and with Green Chick. We'll be right back.